Hey, I'm back. So I know I told you I would be back to talk to you a little bit more about your credit yesterday, but unfortunately I was busy. But I'm back today. It's been a busy day. Poor little Chris doesn't feel good, but I wanted to take a few minutes and give you another car chronicle and talk to you a little bit about some of the things that you can do when you're on the road to repair your credit. Because remember, you need two things in life: credit, Jesus Christ. You following me? All right, great. All right. So one of the very most important things that you can do to fix your credit and to work on repairing and rebuilding your credit is to pay your bills on time. It sounds very cliche and very easier said than done. Oh, pay your bills on time. But it's true. Paying your bills on time is probably the easiest way for you to build your credit score. And it also helps you build great financial habits. When you pay your bills on time, you ensure that you end up with you ensure that you don't have any payments that go in collections. You never want collections on your credit report. They suck, and even if you pay them off, unless you get someone really, really nice on the phone that day when you make the payment arrangement and pay it off, it's going to stay on your credit report for 7 years. So the easiest way, the first thing, is to pay your bills on time. Okay, so how do you pay your bills on time? Well, the most important or the fastest way to pay your bills on time is, you got to make enough money and not, get overwhelmed and buy things that you can't afford. But you also need to create a budget. You wouldn't believe how many people in 2017 don't operate off of a budget. I don't care if you live with your mother, your grandmother, your sister, your cousin, Kiki and them. It doesn't matter. You have to operate on a budget. You have to know what you make and what is coming in versus what has to go out. If you don't have those two things, you're really shooting yourself in the foot. Creating a budget lets you know exactly where your money is going, and it helps you spend it wisely. So basically, you need to start by calculating how much income you have each month from all areas: work, child support, retirement, reserve pay, braiding hair on the side, whatever it is that's consistent. And then you got to tally up your expenses. And those are the ones that are due monthly, like utilities, your rent or mortgage, and also those that are due less often, such as if you pay like quarterly taxes or, you frequently get your car maintenance. But those are all bills, and those are things that you want to tally up. You also got to include other expenses, like, do you go to Starbucks every morning? I won't say any names, but I have a bunch of friends that go to Starbucks every morning. Do you go out to lunch with your coworkers every week? And other non-essential expenses. So those are non-essential expenses, meaning if you didn't do it today or tomorrow, your life would still go on. Once you do that, you'll then develop a clear picture of your financial state, and it'll help you see where you can save money and where you can kind of scale back. One of the biggest things that people are doing lately is scaling back on their cable bill by getting a Fire Stick. Get a Fire Stick, get it bootlegged or jailbroken, whatever it is they call it. Knock down your cable bill. My cable bill went from, almost $200 a month with all of the channels down to like $100. Do I get frustrated with my Fire Stick? Yes, but we're not going to talk about that on this video. We'll talk about it later. All right. So first, we're going to create a budget. Great. All right. So once you create a budget and you know where all of your money is going, the second thing you want to do is you want to reduce your non-essential expenses. So if you create your budget and you find out that you get $1,500 a month and you got $1,300 going out in essential expenses, you don't need to be going and doing Starbucks runs or getting your nails done every week versus every 2, getting your hair done every other day. You don't have time for that. You need to cut back on some of your non-essential expenses so that you can use that money to help you pay down some of your other bills that you may have or things that are on your credit so that you can build it back up. All right. And while it may not seem much, it's only a $5 cup of coffee at Starbucks, those $5 add up. Trust me. If you get a $5 cup of coffee at Starbucks, and typically you're probably getting like a latte or a frappe or something like that, so it's probably more than $5, but $5 every day for, 5 days a week, that's $25 a week. 4 weeks, that's $100. plus whatever taxes. Then you still got to get lunch. Trust me, that extra $100 will help you a lot when you're trying to reduce like credit card debt or make payments on medical collections, those types of things. All right, so you're paying your bills on time. We're creating a budget. We're reducing our non-essential expenses. What are we going to do next? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to track your expenses. So Preta, how do I track my expenses? I really am not in the mood to save every receipt or write down everything that I spend. Okay, great. That's fine. You don't have to. A lot of people like to use cash instead of credit, and then others use credit instead of cash. If you like to use your credit card because you don't like carrying cash, some people say they spend it too quickly. Here's what you can do. There is an app called Mint. It's through TurboTax. It's very safe, and you can sign up for that, link your bank account or your credit card with it, and it will literally create a budget for you and track all of your expenses. It's so smart. Hang on, sorry. It's so smart, it'll even tell you when you've went over. So like, for example, I get an email often and it says, ding, 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 you spend too much money on liquor and spirits. Shh, I like wine. All right, great. So whenever I get that email, I know, oh my God, it's only the 20th. I went over my wine budget. Better hold back. Or it may say, I went over my fast food budget, or I spent too much on shopping. I get that one often. And then I know that I got to kind of scale back. So try it out. Take a look around on the site, but mint.com is great. It lets you create your budget. You can put how much money you're going to spend on your non-essential stuff. And then if you go over it, it will definitely alert you and let you know. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to get current on accounts that are past due, but not charged off, okay? You don't want to, you want to get current on your past due accounts. You want to contact your creditors and find out what you can do to get current on those accounts. If you pay the debt in full and the balance becomes zero, then the account can be paid, but don't close the account. Okay, because another part to, building up your credit history is how long you've had that particular account or whatever. So even if they're past due, you want to pay them off and get them down to zero. But you don't want to just be like, let me pay this off and cancel it. If you have to, cut the card up. Just don't use it. Pay it off. It's not hard. But keep in mind, though, if anything on your credit report is charged off, it's going to stay on there for a minimum of at least 7 years. All right. All right, so paying your bills on time. We've got a couple steps that we can use to help us build up our credit. So the first one we talked about today is paying our bills on time. We got creating a budget, reducing those non-essential expenses so we can use that money to pay on accounts that are past due and bring them current. And we also talked about tracking your spending. So these are just a few tips on how you can rebuild your credit. I'll be back another day this week to give you another tip or two. And it was fun talking to you. Like, share, and if you know anyone looking to buy or sell, tell them to give me a call. Thanks. Homes by Preta out.